Do you ever find yourself struggling to stay disciplined when it comes to certain things? Whether that's going to the gym, meditating, or even eating a healthy diet, you just always seem to fall back into old ways. If that sounds like you, then this video is perfect for you. In this video, I'll be breaking down 10 points on why you struggle with discipline. Starting with number 1, when it comes to discipline, people often forget that motivation isn't enough. People forget that motivation is just temporarily. But discipline is what you need to keep you going for a long time. You cannot always rely on motivation for you to do certain things because motivation isn't always there, but discipline is. And how to build discipline starts with the habits. If you guys have been keeping up with my channel for the last couple of videos now, I've been talking about habits and habit building and all these things, so you guys can watch those videos to get further in depth on how to build good habits and everything like that. But you need to build strong habits, and those strong habits become ingrained. Just like a computer, you're installing softwares, you're installing these habits. You're installing these habits to keep you going even when you don't feel like it. This then leads to my second point. Start small and build momentum. Start with small, manageable habits that builds discipline over time. If you start small, you're more likely to stick to whatever you're trying to be disciplined on. A lot of people do the rushing thing and they set these big habits they need to do. They set these big things they need to do and they never end up doing it because they're setting the bar too high. And that's not to say you shouldn't be setting high expectations and goals for yourself. That's not the case at all. But it's about being realistic to what you're actually going to stick with. For example, right, I cannot say I'm going to upload every single day for 365 days for the whole year and not miss a day. That's not really realistic. I'm probably gonna get burnt out. Every day for the whole year is crazy. Plus the quality of the videos will drop. Everything will just most likely drop and the energy wouldn't be there. A lot of things. So that's why you need to start with small habits. So for example, if you guys been keeping up, I've been dropping every day for 7 days straight. Just by doing that, that's already built my consistency and built my work rate, and it's skyrocketed my focus and concentration levels. And that's just building a small habit. This was a stepping stone to further consistency. Following up with what I just said, that then leads on to the third point, the power of consistency. It's better to show up every day than not show up at all, because if you show up, you're most likely going to see some progress in whatever that is anyway. Even if you just show up in small ways, it strengthens your discipline and makes it easier over time. The reason why it makes it easier over time is because you'll be used to just showing up regardless, and that will just instill this thing in your head, and your body will know that you have to do X, Y, and Z regardless of the occasion, regardless of if you're sick, regardless of anything. That's just something that is muscle memory and it's ingrained. It's a part of your routine. You have to do it. And also showing up and being consistent is obviously better than not showing up at all. The fourth point in why you struggle with discipline is because you haven't identified your why. You need to identify your why. You need to find a clear reason why you want to start to be disciplined with that certain habit or task. You need to identify why. What do you want to see out of it? If that's the gym, if that's content creation, if that's your studies, whatever it is, why do you want to be disciplined at it? What are you trying to gain from it so that you can identify your why and then work towards it? Because it's way easier to be disciplined when you have a clear goal and vision in mind, because that will help you stay committed. And I know my first point talked about motivation, but even if you have a clear vision of what you want to do with that certain thing, instantly that installs motivation inside of you anyway. So you have discipline, and as well as discipline, you will have motivation. Even though discipline is way more important than motivation, but because you are striving for something much greater, that will just give you that motivation in you. And anytime you don't want to do that certain thing, you remember your why. That's why it's important to have a why. You remember that why, and then that will instantly motivate you into doing that thing. Now, the fifth reason why you struggle with discipline is because you never embrace discomfort. I mentioned earlier how discipline often makes you do things you don't want to do sometimes. And obviously doing something that you don't want to do at that specific time is uncomfortable. So you have to learn to be comfortable with that discomfort. If you learn how to be comfortable in that discomfort, you will end up being disciplined anyway, because you'll be used to just doing things. Learning to be comfortable in discomfort is crucial. Number 6, perfectionism. Trying to be perfect often leads to burnout. I explained that in one of my other videos. I'll put the link in the description for that video. But trying to be perfect leads to frustration, first of all. Because if you try to be perfect, obviously when you don't get the result that you would like to see, you'll get frustrated with that. So it leads to burnout and frustration. The reason why it leads to burnout is because you're constantly trying to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. You're constantly trying to be perfect. And over a time of constantly doing something and it's not working in your favor, you're just going to burn out and fall off. That's just honestly the truth. Burn out and fall off. And then if you burn out and fall off, that's literally the opposite of discipline. That's why you're not disciplined. What most of you guys need to do is focus on progress instead of being perfect. Progress. How can you improve? Life is all about improvements. Number 7, you never reward yourself for your progress. Celebrating small wins along the way can help you reinforce that disciplined behavior because you have something to look forward to. You have something to look forward to and you have something to work hard. And you also know that there's a little time for celebration. Not no big celebration. The celebration could be whatever's suitable for you. So you can have a cheat meal once a month. So you're looking forward to that cheat meal once a month. So you're exercising, you're working hard, you're in the gym, all that good stuff. And then that once a month reward is something to look forward to. Maybe that's too extreme. Maybe once a week would be better, or once every 2 weeks for a meal. Whatever that is, always reward yourself. Not some crazy big thing, just a small little thing that you like to do. So for me, my reward would be probably watching YouTube, and just relaxing, really, once a week. Just one day where I just relax. That's resetting everything. That's resetting the brain. That's resetting everything. And you're ready to conquer the next week. Now, number 8 is probably the most common one to why you guys struggle with discipline, but it's you guys never remove temptations and distractions. You guys do not understand how important creating an environment that you guys can work in, how crucial that really is. An environment that minimizes distractions could obviously lead to discipline. You guys are working and you got your phone next to you, the phone's not even on do not disturb, you got the notifications on, you got it on loud, you haven't got it on silent. Just these little small ridiculous things, and then you guys complain why you guys don't get no work done. It's because you're doing silly things like that. The work area you're working in is probably distracting as well. It's probably distracting. You probably got noisy things outside. Look, this is for you. You need to identify all these distractions and mistakes and just minimize it. You need to identify everything that's distracting you when you're working, everything that goes off your phone, your environment, the noise, whatever it is, and change locations. Even if you have to go outside the house and work, go down to a park, go down wherever you can, just find the best environment for you to work. Or maybe you can do your work earlier, when certain people in your household aren't up, you can wake up earlier and get the work done. Just these little things that you get really and truly, you guys know these things, but you're choosing not to do it. Most of you know what I'm saying, but you're choosing not to. And you're choosing not to because you prefer to be comfortable. You prefer and want your phone to go off. You want to see the notification. You want to see who messaged you. You want to see these things. This is why you still have the phone next to you, because you know all these things. You're just comfortable in being where you are. If you really wanted to change your life and really wanted to change, you would change. And this then follows on to my next point, which is number 9, accountability. You guys are not taking accountability for your actions. You're not taking accountability for anything. You're just going with the flow, going with the motions. You're okay with not being disciplined. You're okay with not doing this. You're okay with wasting your life and letting another week go by of the same stuff. How about you take accountability for your actions, admit that you could have done better, and make a change. Think about how you're going to make a change. What did you do this week that you're going to do next week? What did you do? Think about the mistakes you made. We all make mistakes, even me. I'm trying to go over and correct the certain mistakes, and we're all learning. It's all about learning and improving, being better than yesterday. And as you keep going down the line of improving, old ways start to creep back up. So you got to go back in the line and improve them. It's all about constant improvement. That's how life is. It's constant improvement and accountability. But you have to take accountability for your actions. You cannot blame it on anything else other than you. Number 10, my last and final point, is being patient with yourself. You have to understand that discipline and good habits all takes time. You cannot wake up tomorrow and be the dream person you want to be, or be that disciplined version of yourself. It doesn't work like that. It starts with small wins, what I talked about earlier, small incremental habits, and daily progress that's going to get you to that end result. This takes years. It takes years to get to that ultra discipline. When I'm talking about ultra discipline, I'm talking about those people that never slip into bad habits. Almost near perfect, which is impossible to be perfect, but we're trying to get to that top level, and that takes years, because even though these things happen where you slip back into old habits, Nobody wants to slip back into old habits because it just wastes time. You gotta go down back in the line, correct those bad habits, and then when you're going down in the line, correcting the old bad habits, the new ones that you fixed come back in. So it's just a constant back and forth of trying to fix new things and figure it out. But honestly, you need to just remember that it all takes time. But if you guys are struggling with staying disciplined and being more productive, and you have a good week or a good day or maybe even a good month, but you always just go right back to where you started. And obviously setbacks are a part of the journey, but you really do really well for a good month, 2 months even, but you just really fall off and you never can stick to that consistent discipline or consistent habits that you want to stick to, then click the top link in the description and I'll build you a custom plan and I'll have a word with you and we'll fix your schedule and I'll help you to stay disciplined and on top of your tasks. Because look, we're in October now. Yeah, we got November and then December. We got 2 months left. I feel like these videos are good that I'm making, but I don't want people watching these videos and actually not doing anything. I don't want you guys watching these videos and just watching them and not implementing these things into your life. Or you may implement them, but you slip back into old habits. If that happens to you, click the top link in the description and we will change that. We have no time to waste. We have 2 months left. We have to smash it. And I'm willing to help you guys even more than I am now with just these videos. I'm willing to speak to you guys one-on-one and fix your problems. Let's go. We're all winning together. We're all going to win together. You know, 2025 is around the corner. That doesn't really mean anything, but we still have to grind. What better way now to start our New Year's resolution and our new improved self now?